which I wanted to talk to you about your new book, The God Solution. How did this come to be, and what do you want this book to do and help the world with?
Well, I'm inviting people to create a new definition of God. The God Solution is my answer to the God dilemma. The book starts by declaring what the God dilemma is. The God dilemma, as I see it, is, if there really is a God, and 8 out of 10 people believe there is some kind of higher power. If there really is a higher power, then why is the world such a mess? Why doesn't God just come down here and fix it, make everything better? And so I began thinking about that. And I began rereading what I was told in conversations with God. And I wound up with a deep desire to put all of that into one book, to create what I call the culmination, literally the apotheosis of the Conversations with God body of work. So I sat down and just wrote in about 4.5 or 5 weeks that book called The God Solution. And I offered the possibility that there is a solution to the God dilemma. And the solution is this. Number one, why doesn't God just come down and fix everything? Because it's not God's desire to simply create a civilization of minions who simply do what she asks for, what she demands, and then he'll make everything better. That wasn't God's intention. God's intention was to, in fact, imbue all of God's creations, all of its sentient beings in the universe. In this case, every human being on the planet Earth and all sentient beings throughout the cosmos, to imbue each of us with the ability to create our own reality, to produce the outcomes that we chose to produce. So when I ask God, well, why don't you just fix everything? God says to me, well, why don't you just fix everything? And I said, no, you're the one who's supposed to do it. You're the one who has the power to do it. And God says to me, no, you're the one who's supposed to do it. You're the one who has the power to do it. And I'm saying, but God, you're the one who has the answers, the ability to change everything. God says, Neale, you guys are the one who have the answers, the ability to change everything. So I got that. God is giving all of us, that is the entire civilization and each of its members, free will to produce the outcomes we wish to produce. Now, here's where the screw turns. Here's where the problem it can be solved. If we change our definition of God, we then change the underlying ethic, the moral foundation that produces our interactions and our behaviors with each other. So long as we imagine that God is judgmental, condemning, and punishing, we will be judgmental, condemning, and punishing with others. But if we decide that, we've got it wrong, actually, that's not the definition of God. God is not a judging, condemning, punishing deity. Now, the God solution, therefore, is to create a new definition of God. And the book offers a definition of God, a highly complex topic, in 2 words: perfect love. Pure love. God is pure love. Now, Alex, when I give this little talk in front of an audience, there's always a guy in the back of the room, inevitably, who will stand up and say, oh, Neale, come on. I've been listening to you for 20 minutes to have you tell me the great revelation of all time. God is love. I said, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't say that. You didn't hear me say God is love. You heard me say God is pure love. All right, what's the difference? The difference is that pure love needs, expects, requires, and demands nothing in return. Now, if we can embrace what is, in fact, a theologically revolutionary idea, an idea that runs counter to the teachings of almost all of the 4,000 religions on the earth. But if we can be idea heroes and actually be heroic enough to say, you know what? That's really the definition of God, the most accurate definition of God I ever heard. If we can do that, we will create a new ethical infrastructure, a new ethical foundation for all of our human interactions, for our political interactions, our economic interactions, our social interactions, and yes, our spiritual interactions. will then come from a place where we say, you know what? I need, require, demand, and expect nothing in return. Now, we can no longer use God's behavior with us as our justification for the way we behave with other people. Suddenly, when we say, I love you to someone else, it means something entirely different. It no longer means, I love you if. It no longer means that if I get back what I assume I'm going to get back if I love you, then I'll continue loving you. But if I don't get back from you what I assume I'll get back from you for my giving you my love, then the deal's off. We no longer have trade deals like we have as company with nations. Nations have trade deals with nations. Sometimes companies have trade deals with other companies. We no longer have trade deals. And I had to stop looking for that perfect Valentine's Day card because I never really found one that said what I really wanted it to say when I was 29. My dearest, my darling, my sweetheart, I trade you very much. And I'll never stop trading you. I'll be trading you until the end of time. But if you stop trading me, if I don't get from you what I'm supposed to get from you for what I've been giving you, the deal is off because we have here a trade deal. And I thought you understood that. Now, we can say to our beloved, you know what? I want, need, require, and certainly demand nothing from you in return. That my bliss is in experiencing the flow of love from me to you. If I am experiencing the bliss of flowing love to you to get love back from you, then I'm not loving you. I'm simply loving me and using you as a tool, as a vehicle for me to experience love. That's not love at all. That's self-serving behavior. So we then pull the rug out from other institutions, countries, organizations, people, political parties, nationalities, economic stature. We pull the rug of justification out from under all the interactions, or at least the largest number of them, the dysfunctional interactions that we see between people on earth. Because most of our interactions are based on, hey, you know what? You're okay with me if. But if you don't do what I tell you to do, and if you don't agree with my point of view about something, like if we even have a geographical disagreement on where the border between our countries should be, I will blow you to pieces. I will drop bombs on your cities, in your schools, in your churches, in your concert halls. I will destroy you if you don't do what I think you should do. We have a disagreement. But you know what? I'm more powerful than you, so I get to be right. After all, you've heard it said before, and it's true. Might is right. And that's what we've learned from our God. And in this case, I will be acting like God.
It's very, very apropos for what's going on in today's world.
Hello. Oh, wait a minute. No, Neale, you pulled that example out of thin air.
Nope, that's literally what's happening right now. And it's, when with what's happening in the Ukraine, I always thought that was like, okay, we're beyond this point now. We're not going to be doing.
Not only in the Ukraine, but in grocery stores in Buffalo, New York.
Absolutely.
In elementary schools in Uvalde, Texas.
To watch the full video, click on the link below. And don't forget to subscribe.